So, in the 2013 Latin American and Caribbean macroeconomic report, the main argument is that if we look at world growth for the next 5 years, it's likely that the world is going to grow below its potential. Growth is going to be suppressed, particularly by fiscal retrenchment and policy uncertainty in some of the advanced countries. This means that Latin America and the Caribbean is going to grow slower than it otherwise would. Projections indicate something like less than 4% growth for the next 5 years. That's okay given what the world is doing, but it's not going to make a real impact on living standards in the region. However, in the report we argue that there is ample room for Latin America to reinitiate the agenda of structural reforms and increase growth quite dramatically. In fact, if countries could implement a tailor-made set of reforms, so not a one-size-fits-all policy, but reforms tailored to individual countries' characteristics and realities, that could boost growth in the region by 2.3%, and that would imply that the region would be growing at more than 6% rather than less than 4% for the next 5 years. Where do we see these potential growth reforms, growth-boosting reforms? Well, there are many areas where Latin America and the Caribbean could boost productivity and growth. So it depends on each country which the right policy measures are. But certainly there are two areas where the region as a whole has lagged. One is the area of labor market reforms, and the other area is that of investment in infrastructure. And we think that both areas could produce significant growth potential. And then in an interesting analysis, what we do is we look at if each individual country does a reform, pursues a reform agenda, then there are spillovers between countries which give you an extra boost. So that if each country could produce something like 1.5% growth, additional growth through individual reforms, then you would get another 0.8% additional growth in the region, and that would then give us this 2.3% additional growth.